Welcome to the Workplace Minute, powered by H3HR Advisors and sponsored by WorkHuman. Thanks for joining me for your quick briefing on what's important in the world of work. My name is Steve Boese. Talent trade-offs and what they mean for employers. Today on the show, we're taking a look at talent retention, the perennial top 5 most important issue for companies of all sizes and all industries. Let's break it down. In a world where economic uncertainty is the only constant, how are workers recalibrating their expectations? And what should employers be doing in response? That's the question at the heart of Randstad's just-released Workmonitor Pulse Report 2025. A look at what talent around the world is prioritizing and what they're willing to give up to get it. This latest Pulse edition is based on a survey of over 5,000 workers across 7 countries: the US, the UK, Australia, Germany, Italy, Poland, and Japan. And it spans all age groups and working arrangements. And it builds on insights from Randstad's annual Workmonitor reports, but with a sharper focus on the emerging trade-offs that workers are actively making. And the result is a revealing, sometimes surprising look at how global talent is negotiating the value exchange between employer and employee in 2025. Let's unpack the 5 most important trade-offs that workers say they're weighing most carefully and what HR and business leaders should take away from each. Trade-off number 1, staying employable beats everything else. Perhaps the clearest signal from this year's report, workers want to stay relevant, even more than they want to stay working remotely. 67% of global respondents say they would prioritize employability over the ability to work from home, and over half would choose upskilling over remote work. This isn't just about climbing the corporate ladder. It's about having a parachute or a safety net. Workers are thinking beyond their current job and preparing for what's next. This should be a wake-up call for employers. Are you offering your employees the kind of skill building, AI training, and other growth pathways that they crave? If not, don't be surprised if they start looking elsewhere. Not necessarily for more compensation or better perks, but for better preparation for their future. Trade-off number 2, stress is now a deal breaker. Yes, compensation does still matter, but it's not everything. In fact, 60% of global workers said they'd rather have less stress than more money. And here's the kicker. 40% have already acted on that belief and moved into lower paying but less stressful roles. Think about that. In a tough economy, people are still walking away from higher salaries if the trade-off is too much pressure. And this trend crosses generations and job types. Millennials and Gen X are leading the charge, but even boomers and Gen Z are in step. And in Japan, a stunning 72% of respondents said they would choose less stress over more pay. This raises a powerful question for HR leaders. Do you know where the pressure points are in your organization, and are you working to do things to reduce them? Trade-off number 3, time matters more than place. For a while now, we framed workplace flexibility as a location issue, remote versus on-site versus hybrid. But Randstad report shows that when people think when they work is more important than where they work. 59% of workers would choose time flexibility over a higher salary. And 56% say time autonomy is even more important than being able to work remotely. And this is especially true for younger workers. Nearly half of Gen Z respondents have already traded pay for more control over their schedules. So if your flexible work policy is focused only on letting people work from home sometimes, but still expects them online between 9 and 5, say, you might be missing the mark. Trade-off number 4, returning workers to the office? Well, there is a price. What will it take to get remote workers back into the office full-time? According to the report, more autonomy, more money, and more paid time off. Among fully remote workers, 75% say they'd expect a pay raise, and 66% want additional leave in exchange for giving up location freedom. And even more revealing, over half of workers would decline a promotion or reduce their salary expectations if it meant they could keep working remotely. 38% say they'd consider quitting entirely if forced back to the office full-time. This signals that returning to the office shouldn't be a mandate, it should be a negotiation. Employers who fail to offer a meaningful why for being on site may lose talent to those who do. And lastly, trade-off number 5, retention is about more than the basics. So what actually keeps workers around longer term? The answer is not just employability or flexibility, but it's a combination of things. Annual raises that keep up with inflation, active support from managers in career development, and alignment with company values. Think about that. Workers don't just want a job. They want a connection to growth, to leadership, and to a bigger purpose. And nearly half of Gen Z have already taken on more meaningful, values-aligned roles, even if it meant a lower salary. Retention is now personal, and it's increasingly an emotional decision. So what's the overall message for HR leaders? First, start with employability. Make sure your people have the tools and training they need to stay competitive. But don't stop there. Talk to your employees. Understand what they're willing to trade and what they won't. Personalize your talent strategies. A one-size-fits-all approach won't work in this era of nuanced expectations. And if you're asking people to give up more, whether that's coming back to the office or stepping into a new role, make sure you're offering something equally valuable in return. Because now more than ever, retention isn't just about what your company offers, it's about what it understands about the people. That's it for today. Thanks so much for listening, and a big thank you to Workhuman for supporting the Workplace Minute. If this sparked ideas about expanding your own support systems for your employees, please share it with a colleague. I'm Steve Boese, and this has been the Workplace Minute from H3 HR Advisors.